Hey, welcome to City Boy Hens. I'm Rick Pulcino, and I'm keeping some illegal stuff in my backyard in the city of Toronto. No, I'm not growing the spinello. As my dad used to say,
Ricardo, it's no good for your head.
but what I do keep is 3 little chickens that give me fresh eggs every day. Today, I'm going to teach you how to pull this off in your own city backyard. Okay, but before I begin, I gotta blow off a little steam. Can you believe that in a city the size of Toronto, you can keep 6, yeah, you heard me, 6 dogs, cats, rabbits, or ferrets? Who the freak is keeping ferrets? On top of that, I can also have pigeons, but I can't keep 3 freaking chickens? What gagoots is making up these rules? Can you imagine all the crap and noise from these animals? And you get nothing to eat. Not even 1 freaking egg from any of them. Don't get me wrong, I like some animals. I even got a dog. But there's no way the Rosanna, Filomena, or Angioletta could make as much caca in 1 week that Giancarlo makes in 1 try. As for the noise, you paisans who live near one of those jabones that got the dog who barks all day, you know what I mean. And I just want to keep 3 freaking chickens in a little house in my backyard so I can get the eggs every day. Yeah, okay, I'm the Mameluke. Yeah, okay. Okay, so listen, if you want to have a few chickens in your backyard, here's what you're gonna do. Okay, so first, go see your neighbor and tell him you're gonna get some chickens. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. This is none of his damn business, and you're right if everything was legit. But let me tell you that it's not gonna be a happy day on your little freaking farm when this chooch phones the city bylaw cop because he's finally getting back at you for that time in '02 when he caught you checking out his wife's goods. If anybody's gonna rat you out, this is the guy. All that freaking hard work making the coop, all the fun of raising those little chicks, it's all going down the crapper with 1 call to the city. Let your neighbor also know that you're not getting a rooster, that you'll make a nice house for your girls to live in, and that your backyard won't smell like a farm, and that you'll be getting some farm fresh eggs once your chickens get busy. Okay, so now you're gonna make a nice home for your hens. By the way, some chicken wire tied together with tomato stakes and covered with the orange plastic tarp is not a good idea. Make sure that each of your hens has at least 10 square feet of covered space to roam around each day, and that no animal can get inside. The last thing you want is to wake up in the morning or come home from the rock pile to find that some raccoon, fox, possum, or coyote has feasted on your girls. My run's 50 square feet and the sides are completely covered with 1/4-inch hardware cloth. Chicken wire, it's only gonna slow those guys down. Fork out the extra moolah and get the good stuff. As well, if you can, raise the run off the ground so it can stay nice and dry. Lastly, make sure that the roof is sturdy and watertight. Dry hens, they make happy hens, which make for lots of eggs. At dusk, and believe you me, these guys are like clockwork. My hens go up the ramp and into the coop. That's the place where they sleep and lay their eggs. I built this inside my shed. It's got 3 windows for fresh air, 2-inch thick insulation all around, and a 100-watt light bulb for heat and extra light during the winter days. By the way, I didn't go to the trouble of running electricity out to the shed to keep my girls warm. They'll make out fine with all those feathers. I did it so their water and eggs wouldn't freeze while I'm out at work. As you can see, my setup, it's pretty freaking amazing and should keep my neighbor happy, as long as he doesn't catch me checking out his wife again. So, if you got the skill, build it. But if you're like my Zio Patrizio, he's the one who used the chicken wire and the tomato stakes, then call a paisan or a Goomba over to build your chicken house or buy one off the web. Chickens are easy to care for, and they really make good pets if you raise them from chicks. They need good quality feed, fresh water, and access to grit and oyster shell each day. Chickens, they love to eat, and they'll eat almost anything. They go crazy for my wife's veal cutlets, and dare I say, chicken parmigiana. My daughter, she calls this forced cannibalism, but I'm not forcing no one. They also love to eat lots of fresh vegetable scraps each day. But remember, the other stuff, it's like the antipasto. You still want them to get the bulk of their food from the feed. This will help make sure that your chickens lay an egg almost every day. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Make sure your girls get a dust bath. It's the best way to keep fresh smelling, bug-free chickens. My girls take turns getting in that box every day and cover themselves from head to toe. But if you've seen this before, you would agree there's no more contented look in the world. It's kind of like the way my Nono looked, God rest his soul, just before he would fall asleep in that lazy boy right after the Christmas meal. I can't stress this enough. Make sure your chickens have a dust bath. This is the natural way that they will rid themselves of lice or mites, if, God forbid, they ever get any of those bastardos on them. So far, I've been lucky and my chickens have got no bugs, but I still inspect them every week to make sure. You really need to take a look under the wings and around the vent. That's the Fiorella, as my Zia Maria would say. Yeah, I know it looks like it's talking to you, but get over it and take a good look each week. Lice and mites love this area because it's moist and warm. If you can't get past doing this, don't bother getting the chickens. Remember, as my Zio Franco would say, an ounce of prevention, it's worth a pound of cured prosciutto. Once you've figured out your setup, it's time to decide what kind of chickens you want to raise. What it really comes down to is if you want lots of colors or you want lots of eggs. It's kind of the difference between my cousin Vince and my cousin Angelo's house. Vince, he's got a nice decorated house with concrete lions on either side of the driveway and a huge fountain on the lawn beside a full-size statue of St. Anthony. It's a nice place to stop by in the summer and share a brio on the front veranda. Angelo, on the other hand, he put all his hard work into the inside of his house, with ceramic tile covering all the floor, clear plastic covers on the imported living room sofa, and a complete kitchen in the basement. His house is great for making sausage, doing the tomatoes, or family reunions in the colder winter months. For me, it's all about egg production. I couldn't give a damn about the different colors of those heritage breed chickens. Silkies, naked necks, Polish chickens, those guys all belong in a freaking freak show. Besides, these chickens hardly lay in the winter, and you'd be lucky to get about 200 eggs from these freaks every year. On the other hand, Rosanna, Philomena, and Angelina, these guys are egg-laying machines. They're called sex-linked chickens, not because they're nymphos, but because when they hatch, you can tell by their color which ones are boys and girls. This is great because you don't want to raise a chick and find out later that it's turned into a rooster. As well, these chickens generally start laying around 18 weeks of age and lay one large brown egg every freaking day, even in the winter when it's cold enough to freeze your coleons. Hands down, these are my choice for the best backyard chickens. So, what'd you learn today with City Boy Hens? First, work your crap out with your neighbor before you get started and stop checking out his wife. Number 2, build a nice setup for your girls or get a Goomba to help you. 3, make sure your chickens get good feed, fresh water, and some snacks every day. 4, get the right frickin' chickens. If you have any other questions, check out my blog at cityboyhens.com. I'm Rick Pulcino. Ciao for now.
Chickens, lay a little egg for me. Chickens, I want one for me tea. I had one for me breakfast, but now it's 3:30. So, chickens, lay a little egg for me. Take it away, Swiffer. Chickens, lay a little egg for me. Chickens, I want one for me tea. I had one for me breakfast, but now it's 3:30. So, chickens, lay a little egg for me.